Okay, we're recording, everybody. It's Joe. Art from home. Staying sane in these troubled times. Doing something creative every day. That's my commitment. Hope it inspires you to do the same. Hopefully it's helpful for you. It's been helpful for me. Today I wrote. And I wrote a tiny story. You might have heard of tiny stories if you've been around HITRECORD at all. We published a few books of tiny stories. It is what it sounds like. It's a tiny story is just a story that's very small, accompanied by an illustration. It's usually one sentence, two sentences, maybe three sentences. And there's a real, again, I've kind of talked about how brevity can be a lovely creative challenge, but there's a real challenge to writing what feels like a complete story that has substance to it that's really, really brief. So today I wrote a tiny story, and I was just looking through Tiny Stories projects on the site. A lot of the Tiny Stories projects start with an illustration. Somebody drew something, put it up on the site, and someone else says, like, this is a cool illustration, this could be the start of a tiny story, and they start a project. So in this case, this guy named Captain Love Handles found an illustration by the Ice Pixie. Her illustration was called Don't Come In, I'm Naked. What really caught me was, it's a pretty piece of visual art, but the textures that she used of the lines of a notebook and of graph paper caught me, and I thought it was really creative how she incorporated that into the shower curtain and the tiled bathroom wall. And it started me thinking about the creative process and writing, because when you look at paper, it's like writing. And so my mind went to, like, is this woman in the shower, is she real, or is she the imagination of somebody who's writing? So I wrote the tiny story kind of from that point of view, or I'll read it. It's so tiny, I can just read it to you. Notes never neck, and stories don't cuddle, so I'm lonely, but I stay inside anyway, and I keep writing. Obviously staying inside is on my mind. Yeah, when I wrote that and I contributed it, and then I actually ate lunch, and when I came back I read it again and was like, is that gonna be clear? Are people gonna think that she's the writer? Which I guess is okay. I mean, that's one of the fun parts of writing a story, especially a tiny story where you're kind of leaving a lot up to interpretation. People can interpret it different ways. But I did write a second version, and I contributed them both to Captain Love Handles' project, and maybe he'll use one or the other, or neither, both, or whatever. It's not my project, it's his. But I wrote an alt version, went like this. Notes never neck, and stories don't cuddle. Maybe if I keep writing, someone will show. One thing I often like to do when I'm writing a tiny story is let the illustration fill in some information that the text doesn't. So I didn't want to say something like, I'm writing about an imaginary friend I might have, which is this woman in a shower. I don't want to actually describe what you see in the visual, because I like the experience when I'm reading a tiny story of being able to read the writing and see the visual and do the little bit of detective work, do the little bit of, creative reading to interpret, like, oh, I can connect the dots. This text is alluding to something, and the visual fills in the rest of the information. That's something I think anytime you're looking to write, really anything, but especially a tiny story, it's a good challenge to see, like, what can I leave out of the text that can then be filled in by the visual. It's also a good rule of thumb for filmmaking, by the way. When you're writing a script, you don't want to spell everything out in the dialogue. You want the audience to see stuff that they don't get to hear about, and vice versa. So that's a little bit of writing. Didn't take too long to write a tiny story, and I think that's important too, doing this every day. Not all creativity has to be a big, ambitious project. Yesterday I was talking about, this short film that we're making together that'll take us probably a couple weeks in total to make a little minute-long short film. This is just a little project you can do quickly, and I really like the ability to kind of get in and get out and just do something and get the satisfaction of finishing something right away. But it's still substantial enough that it's not just like a disposable sort of piece of chatter on social media. It's still a work of art, and we can still feel good about finishing it. So if you're feeling like that, write a tiny story. I'm gonna show you a few tiny stories projects that are open right now that have an illustration and are looking for writing that might inspire you. Let's see. Here's one. This is based on an illustration by Cowardice. It's a creepy, creepy illustration. And Edward IX started the project and said, write a tiny story based on this creepy illustration of a tortured soul taking drugs. Reminds me of like Sandman or something like that. So you could write something based on that one. Here's another project called You and Your Shadow, tiny story. This one was started by, the Just Keep Living Foundation. This is cool. The Just Keep Living Foundation is a foundation started by Matthew McConaughey about high school students just like getting life skills and being creative and being productive. And it's really cool. They've been using HITRECORD. They joined HITRECORD and they've been challenging people, and their students as well as just anybody to participate in these collaborations. But they started a tiny story about this illustration. It was a great drawing by Antika Tar, You and Your Shadow. That's inspiring. You could write a story based on that. And then, of course, here's another tiny story project called Nurses on the Front Line, pertinent to today. Write a tiny story based on this illustration of one of the many nurses on the front line. So this is a drawing by Patricia Shrigley. She just put it up a few hours ago. And go nurses, go medical workers. Thank you for everything you're doing. If there's some way, some small way, us artists here at home can honor you, maybe we can write a story about this illustration. Obviously, Patricia Shrigley, who drew it, was finding some catharsis in our moment by drawing this, and great way to connect with Patricia and the nurses out there if we, write a story in their honor. I'll leave it there for today. Do some writing. Stay healthy, stay sane, stay home if you can, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again.